paralysis by analysis. That's what you get from the other guys, but not here, not now, and not ever. This is the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. A look deep inside the game from a former player's perspective. The Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA, is brought to you by BCWSA, The Pines Tavern, Penn Community Bank. We now go live for the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Now, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, welcome to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live in the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park. I'm John Brazer, Director of Fun and Games, joined by Tommy Greene, Chris Ermer, and we got a great show today.
Hey, you shocked me.
And it's a great day today. We're going to be talking all kinds of things. We're talking about the week of Phillies baseball, the sweep of the Dodgers, the All-Star game, the Futures game yesterday. But right now it is, did you know that today is CP Rankin, Nick Castellanos basketball jersey given away to all kids 14 under. And we are lucky enough to be in the CP Rankin Club, and we are lucky enough to be hanging out with our man Craig Rankin.
Craig Rankin, the
How
man.
You doing, Craig?
Hey, doing
Found
fantastic.
out about it earlier.
Thank you, guys.
All
Thanks for having me. Thank you.
How did you get the best giveaway of the players are all wearing it on the field? How did CP Rankin basically sponsor the best giveaway of the year?
I told him I wanted the best giveaway of the year, and obviously Nick's jersey is one of the best.
And you love Nick too, right?
Oh, he's fantastic.
Right.
Fantastic person.
All right, and then part of that special day is in about, I guess it's about 40 minutes or so?
Yes.
What's going to happen in 40 minutes? Very special to you.
So my son Shane Rankin is going to be throwing out the first pitch, and Nick is going to catch his first pitch as well. I hope it's a strike.
Has he been practicing?
He says yes.
When did he find out he was doing this?
Yesterday.
And do you think he's not going to throw from the mound? I always tell people do it in front of the mound.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, he used to be a pitcher, so let's see.
Let's
see what happens.
He's young.
All right, well,
Tommy's been teaching him a couple of things as well.
Yeah.
Just if you do talk to him beforehand, tell him not to try to throw too hard, because the problem is when people try to throw too hard, they alligator arm right into the dirt.
They spike it.
Just a nice, easy, high release point. Yeah, right there.
Well, he's looking to get signed, so if you know, you know.
Well, then
he's young.
You know what? Yeah, he's young.
Hey, air it out, dude.
Right,
air it
exactly.
out.
He's young. All right, Craig. Well, thank you again for hosting us all season. It's been great.
Yeah,
we'll have a bunch of our employees here as well.
Yes.
That's awesome. All right.
All right, thank you.
All right,
thank
Craig
you, guys.
Rankin.
Thanks for your time.
All right, I really appreciate it. All right. Now we have a guest for the first half of the show, and it's interesting. I was talking to him, and I forgot, he does his pregame show in about a half an hour, Tommy, but we got one of my favorite people in the organization. We have the same taste in books, right?
Favorite people, period.
TV shows, favorite people, period. My man, Greg Murphy. What's up, Murph?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. This is great.
This is great. And your first time, is this your first time on our show?
No. I've been on the show, but never from the ballpark.
Never, yeah, right.
Maybe once from
Keenan's or
Jersey
Shore?
Yeah.
All right, so Murph, let's go back. There's a lot I want to get to, but let's talk from the very beginning. You went to college around here, St. Joe's, right? Mm-hmm. And did you know you were going to get into broadcasting right from the get-go?
Well, not right from the get-go. I went to college to be an attorney, a high-powered trial lawyer. That was the plan, and that all fell apart when I when I fell in love with play-by-play. Honestly, I got a chance early at St. Joe's, my freshman year at St. Joe's, to start calling some of the men's and women's basketball games on campus, and I realized at that moment, wow, this is what I want to do. I want to be in sports. I want to be, part of this industry. And I was lucky. You have to be lucky in our business to be able to make a living doing what we do. And I was.
And CN8, your show was right after that?
No. So, I started up my first on-air television job was on QVC and Home Shopping Network.
Yeah. Okay.
And I used to sell sports memorabilia for a company called Scoreboard. I did that for a couple of years. Then I landed a job up in Reading as a sports reporter at WFMZ up there in Berks County. And I was there for about 2 years. Then I came back to Philadelphia, and I was the host of the Inquirer High School Sports Show, which aired on Fox locally in town. And then from there, I landed at CN8. And started as a producer at CN8 and kind of worked my way up.
And then producer, then on-air talent, working with or in replace of Lou Tilley.
Yeah, I worked with Lou for years and years. He was such a huge part of getting me to where I got to. And then, I eventually took over for Lou, and then CN8 went out of business, and they slid me over to Comcast Sportsnet, and I ended up there. And, so like I said, you got to get lucky.
That's when I met you.
We used to work together on the pre- and post-game shows back then.
And I used to be a guest on the CN8 show.
It's a very small world in Philly, right? Our business, we've all gotten an opportunity to work with one another, and I've worked with so many of your teammates, Tommy, over the years, and the 90s still do. Like two of them are upstairs right now, and Kevin Stocker and John Kruk and Kevin Stocker. So it's
I
we're
feel
so
sorry
lucky.
for you with
John.
I
know. Tell me about it.
So one of my I love talking to you about. Because we've had you down. You've been my co-host in spring training. But one of the great things is all the interviews you used to do. Obviously now you're doing pregame, postgame, but you used to be the in-stadium reporter, basically. So talk about some of the memorable interviews you've had over the years.
Well,
being out there in the stands like you were, man, you got a chance to see some stuff that's probably.
I sure did. It was so much fun. And, I continue to do player interviews on the radio now. Every Sunday we do our Sunday sit-down. Today, Jeff Hoffman is our guest, first-time All-Star. But over the years, doing that job, I've also got an opportunity to interview musicians and actors and actresses and celebrities of all kinds. It's been a blast. I look back. Sometimes the pictures pop up on your phone,
right?
And you start scrolling through some of the memories and all of the folks that I've had an opportunity to talk to over the years. It's really kind of cool.
And Paul Abdul gave you a kiss on the cheek.
Paul Abdul,
that.
She gave me a kiss. I had a woman in Arizona throw up on me, so I've had both sides of it.
Now, how's it been working with the famous the director of Fun and Games, John Brazer? That guy, that talent, get that name, plaque above your door.
We all just have to just be in his presence, and we're better for it.
I know.
Every time they do the opening of our show, literally we've been doing this for 15 years. Yeah. He laughs.
I laugh every time. It just it's like.
Well, John also has one of the great jobs of all time, and he's exceptional at it.
Yes.
But he's part of our weekly radio show as well on the pre and post every Monday night, batting around with Brazer.
Yep.
Your opportunity to talk to some of the great people in the area as well.
So was there any interview that you were nervous about, like butterflies? Maybe not nervous, but butterflies because you were kind of in awe of the person.
Well, it's that last part. I don't want to get too far anywhere.
Easy.
But I did interview Joe Biden when I was doing college football sidelines. I was doing a Delaware-Villanova game, and Joe Biden had just been nominated as the vice president, running mate for Barack Obama at the time. And they allowed me to interview him because he's a big University of Delaware football fan. And so I had the opportunity to talk to him. And I wasn't nervous so much to interview him. I was nervous because they wouldn't let me – the only way I could get to him was climbing a 12-foot ladder. I climbed to the top of a ladder and leaned over because the first row at Delaware Stadium is really high up. It's about 12 feet high. And they would not let me come down the stands to sit next to him. The only way they allowed it was up a ladder. So I climbed up a ladder. I'm standing on a 12-foot ladder, leaning over a railing, interview then vice presidential candidate Joe Biden. I was more nervous about falling than I was about interviewing him.
Well, Greg Murphy, the failed lawyer, would have basically not allowed you to do that.
Yeah, it was definitely high risk. I never quite understood why they wouldn't let me come down and sit with him, but whatever. So that was a fun memory.
How about any like a musician or something that you really like? You're a fan of their music, or they're an actor or actress.
Don Cheadle, maybe.
Right.
I interviewed him at a Mets game, and I was a huge fan of the show House of Lies. Do you remember that show?
I do. Yeah.
And so I was a huge fan of that, and it was still very popular at the time. And he was in a suite at the Mets at Citi Field, and they let me come in and sit with him. And the inning that prior to the interview got to be very long. So he and I were just sitting there for a while, kind of just making small talk. And he was very gracious. He was very kind. But you could tell that he was kind of like, all right, how long do I have to sit with this guy and talk with him? But, so when the interview finally started, I felt like, maybe I should be quick with him. But he was great, and like I said, I'm a big fan. But I don't get too starstruck over anybody anymore. It's for me, it's just they're just
because you're the star, dude.
Yeah, yes. I make so many folks nervous. I know.
How about from a player point? Talk about who you're the most colorful players that we've had as far as interview. Because I know for me on the current team, Brandon Marsh we had him on our podcast, and he's just even the other night we had all the flyers for Retro Night. We had Prop and we had Boxcar Hospodar and Brad Marsh. Sure. And when Brad Marsh went out to change second base, Brandon Marsh ran right past him and he says, "Hey, Mr. Marsh."
That's so great.
And then he mentioned in the post-game interview, but he's just such a refresher. Like, who are, other than Marsh, I'm sure you have the same feelings towards him, who are some of the really colorful people over the years?
Well, he's working with one of them.
Yeah, I mean, this guy. You're talking.
I'm talking about the other grumpy guy.
Yeah. You know what? When I was covering the team, in 1993, I covered the team briefly as a intern for Neil Hartman at Channel 17.
Oh, you got an education.
Yeah, and then a little bit after that, 93 at the back end of 93 and 94, I stayed on at Channel 17. So I saw that team a little bit from the inside, but here I was, a 22-year-old kid just beginning in the business. I was so nervous in that clubhouse. These guys were so intimidated.
Yes, and not just the players, but you had Fregosi, you had Johnny Padres, Vukovic, Boa,
Frank Koppenbarger.
Frank might have been the piece, man.
Our trainer.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, Jeff Cooper.
I mean, Cooper. There was landmines everywhere in that clubhouse.
There was.
Right?
And that's a good way of putting it.
Yes.
Landmines.
And what always strikes me as so funny is, I mean, we could sit here and name 10 guys that were on that roster that are now or have been in the media after that.
And they
wanted no parts of us at that point.
Hey, man, we were running the other way.
You weren't like that.
I wasn't like them.
But there was some pressure. Like Kevin Stocker talks about it all the time. There was pressure to be a little bit standoffish with the media.
Oh, yeah. Because we're not letting you, but so close.
Let me tell you about that, because literally 1994, my first interview, radio station wanted one of the players, right? So I go in there as this, whatever, I guess I was 28 years old. I go in there. I'm thinking like, all right, someone said, get Kevin Stocker. He's the nicest guy in the team. He'll do whatever you ask. So I go to Kevin Stocker, and I learned my first lesson, never ask a player in front of another player. Kruk was right next to him, sitting in his locker.
That's the worst one you could have done.
I said, "Hey, Kevin, John Brazer, can you go on this radio show?" I think it was like MMR or something. I said, "Can you go on this radio show? Quick 5-minute fun interview." He said, "Sure, no problem." Kruk hears him say that and says, "Dude, don't do it for that suit," because I was wearing a suit at the time. And next thing you know, he looks at me with that look like, "Sorry, man. I know I just committed, but I can't do it now."
I got an idea. Let's go upstairs and kick Kruk's butt.
Let's go.
All right, let's get back. Like some of the fun. Like I know you've interviewed Shane. Like current team, past team. Like, who are some of your favorite interviews?
I mean, some of my favorite interviews. Ryan Howard was always great to interview.
Yep.
He had such a terrific personality. He was always very honest and thoughtful with his answers. So I really always enjoyed talking with him. I've always enjoyed talking with Reese Hoskins, another guy very similar to that.
Brad Lidge.
Brad was wonderful. I mean, the list goes on and on, really. We could sit here and name guy after guy after guy. One of my all-time favorite interviews, and I just talked to him about it the other day, was after Cole Hamels' no-hitter in Chicago on the field at Wrigley. He had just thrown the no-hitter. We knew it was his final game in a Phillies uniform. And Cole wasn't always easy to talk to, right? He had his moments where he could be short and you had to really kind of work for the interview. But that day he was wonderful, and we had this on-field, on-camera conversation that to this day I still hold on to as one of my favorite memories of doing that job with the Phillies. My boys were in the crowd, and just the whole
special moment.
It was, and it's certainly special for him, but for me as well.
Yeah.
And so I always think about that one as a good one.
All right, coming up in the show, you're going to stick around for a couple minutes when we come back, because I want to get your take on the All-Star game coming up and where we stand one game before the All-Star break. We'll talk to Murph. You're listening to the Baseball Insiders Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park.
At Penn Community Bank, we're in the business. Breaking down the barriers to home ownership, supporting fair, affordable access to housing from Philadelphia to the Lehigh Valley. Like our Home Opportunity Mortgage that empowers eligible borrowers with no minimum credit score, no down payment, access to grant programs, and so much more. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/home for more details. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now is the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. We are live at the CP Rankin Club, Citizens Bank Park. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host Tommy Greene, Chris Ermer, and we got our special guest, Greg Murphy. And Murph, we are one game away. After today's game, we'll be at the All-Star break. And it feels pretty good being 9.5 games up on Atlanta. We could be 30 games over 500 if we win today.
Think about that.
Which is amazing. We are literally right now, we are 30 games ahead of Miami Marlins in our division, which is crazy. We have 8 All-Stars. So talk about this team right now. I mean, where do we stand right now?
We're good.
Yes, we are good.
I mean, we're good. I mean, quick question is, where do we stand like with our 2 starting pitchers that – Wheeler and Ranger.
Yeah, so what it sounds like, Rob Thompson talked about that today in his press briefing earlier this afternoon. It sounds like both guys are going to be just fine, but they're just being as cautious as they can be with both of them. You know, here you have this built-in 5-day break that allows them 5 days rest, so they push Zach. From today. He was supposed to start today. Yeah. So, now he gets that extra day. He gets the All-Star break, and they're going to then push him through the Pittsburgh series and start him in the Minnesota series. So he's going to get almost
2 weeks.
week and a half, almost 2 weeks off from his last start. Yeah, it'll be close to 2 weeks.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, that's a huge thing, man.
Yeah, I mean, you could speak to that.
The All-Star break is a huge thing. I mean, sometimes, I know I went through a 93 where I scuffled right before the break, but I had thrown 5 complete games in a row. And we were trying to figure out, me and Coop, what to do in between. We started varying our program after about getting your face beat in, sort of like what Rangers sort of been.
Yep.
Been
that's
through.
Going to say it's good for Ranger too.
Yeah. I mean, the
same scenario.
You have to back up. You have to take a step back. Me and Coop did. He says, "Hey, let's cut some of this out to see if we can't get it to bounce back." And that's the way it works for me. So The only person, because I didn't make the All-Stars team, being 11-2 at the break.
Should have.
But I needed that break. It was the best thing to happen to me because when I come that extra 4 days, I kicked back up and it was.
It's amazing how quickly finely tuned athletes can get back and lock back in when they just give their body a little rest. And part of the baseball season is the manager and the training staff managing these guys in terms of getting the most out of them. I don't want to make it sound like a commodity, but they need to take care of their bodies. They need to take care of their muscle tissue and all of that. And we have one of the best training staffs in baseball. So this is what they thought was best. Both Ranger and Zach will get all that time off. It sounds like they'll both pitch in Minnesota. So we come back from the break, 3 games in Pittsburgh. It will be Aaron Nola starting that first game.
Sanchez.
And then it's going to be Tyler Phillips, and then Michael Mercado, maybe a combo, and then probably Christopher Sanchez, and then they'll go from there.
And then what did he say anything about JT?
He said he did not believe that JT would come out of the All-Star break and be ready on the active roster. He said he believes that they're also targeting Minnesota. For JT to be back as well.
So get through Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I've been watching JT out on the field over the last couple of days do his work. I mean, just by my untrained eye, he looks pretty close to 100%. But again, 30 games over 500 heading into the break, 9.5 game lead in the East. There is absolutely no reason to take any chances with any of these guys.
Well, the big thing is, you were hitting on it a little bit, is the communication with the athlete and the staff.
Yes.
That way if they're communicating what they're feeling and what they are, that way everybody's head can be in the same place. You're not fighting each other a little bit. And that's a huge thing with that communication.
Yeah, and I think it's important, for Zach and for Ranger and for JT to be, willing and accepting of, hey, man, let's back you off a little bit. It's going to be better for you in the long run. I mean, all of you guys are competitors. All of you want to be out there all the time.
Yeah.
You want to be out there for 7 innings, 9 innings. And it's sometimes you have to say, hey, we need, that's great, but we need you to pull back a little bit because we need you late September, early October to
That's
be at
exactly
your best.
the way Fagosi put it to me. He says, hey, we need you for,
And you were.
Yeah.
And you were. Yeah. And it worked. And that's what they're hoping to get out of these guys.
Rob Thompson mentioned, obviously, Kirkering is going to start. It's going to be a bullpen game.
Yeah.
Did he give you any sense of it's going to be all hands on deck because obviously we're all going on a big break.
Yeah.
Did he give you a sense on who could be available?
Well, I think what their hope is that Kirkering will come out and get this one started, and then Michael Mercado will come in and pitch the bulk of the game.
Innings.
That's what they're hoping. Now, who knows what could happen. But if you're asking me now, I would not be surprised to see Kirkering pitch the first, and then you see Mercado come in the second and try to get him to the 6th or the 7th inning, and then you finish up with depending on where the game is.
But everyone should be available. Right?
I think everyone. I don't have the chart in front of me. I believe Jeff has pitched the last 2 games, so they're not going to pitch him again.
Right.
He's headed to the All-Star game. They're not going to pitch him. But they have enough arms certainly to get to the end of the game. And
Sir Anthony would be a player in this one.
Yeah, exactly.
And what are you doing during the All-Star break?
Well, I have a wedding to go to tonight down the shore, and then we're going to stay down the shore for a couple of days. And, it goes quick, as you guys know. I mean, but 2 days down the shore perhaps, come back, get some stuff done at home, and then I leave Thursday for Pittsburgh because Scott Fransky's taken a couple extra days, so I'll be in Pittsburgh doing the play-by-play and the pre and post, so I've got the whole
Feel
thing.
free if you want to steal my home run calls.
Yeah. Right? You offer this to me every time. I've yet to take you up on it.
I think
I'm trying to remember what he used to do.
Because you can use it. was actually Ben. I stole it from Ben. The call that ball in Uber because that thing got hammered.
I do kind of like that one.
That's not bad.
That's a pretty good one. Yeah, I do like that one. That's my favorite one of all years.
That's even better. You like that better than put that baby to bed without a diaper?
I like that one much better.
Grandma hide the cookie jar?
Neither of those I understand. The other one I understand.
You're not supposed to understand.
Those are Brazers,
Good.
And last thing is, I always love seeing you and Tommy too down at fantasy camp. You're the commissioner.
Oh.
Or not commissioner.
I am?
Well,
hey, take that, Mickey.
You're not the commissioner. You're the main host, and it's always fun to have you down there.
I love our time down in fantasy camp, not just to be with the campers, but the opportunity to be with these guys, to be with the legends. It's, for me, a kid that grew up as a Philadelphia Phillies sports fan or a Philadelphia Phillies fan, getting a chance to be with these guys is always
There's
so much
no
fun
better
for me.
time than back there in that coach's office, so you get to go and hang out there for, oh, man.
And I heard Cole Hamels is coming down this year.
I heard that as well.
A surprise visit.
Yeah.
So, all right, Murph, I know you got a pregame show to do, so thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
the great
guys.
Greg Murphy.
Thank you.
Murph.
Thank you,
All
guys.
right. Coming up on the show, we're going to talk about the week in baseball. Also, we're going to have Dave Zerilli bringing a special gift for Tommy. Not gift, and Chris, hopefully, and myself, but we're going to it's gonna be an item, Tommy, you're gonna be excited about.
Okay.
All right.
You got me curious.
So we'll have Dave Zerilli, who's filling in for our man Jason, talk about this. Oh, don't look at my sheet because I just had it on there.
Okay.
And we'll talk about Phillies week in baseball, and we'll get you set up for today's game, 1:35 against the A's. You are listening to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live at the CP Rank Club at Citizens Bank Park.
The Brazer.
You're listening to 1490 WBCB and on your FM dial at 107.3 W297CL Levittown.
At Penn Community Bank, our commitment to helping our customers and communities grow and thrive drives everything we do. Whether you are just starting out or setting new goals, we have the checking solutions that can flex to your needs at any life stage. And for a limited time, you can earn a $300 cash bonus for opening a qualifying new checking account with direct deposits in the first 60 days. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/cash bonus to learn more. Penn Community Bank, here we grow. Offer terms and conditions apply. Limited time offer subject to change. As for full details, member FDIC.
This is Tommy Greene from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. And here's the pitch. BCWSA water and sewer customers, you have a new and improved option to pay your bill that's convenient, reliable, and secure. Powered by Invoice Cloud, you can pay your bill 24/7 online, pay by text or phone, or sign up for AutoPay to avoid fees for late or missed payments. Visit bcwsa.net to sign up or for more info. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now is the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
You're listening to 1490 WBCB and on your FM dial at 107.3 W297CL Levittown.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the 93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
All right, we are back to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. We are live at the CP Ranking Club at Citizens Bank Park. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host, Tommy Greene. And Tommy, consider a career at Septa. Septa is hiring a variety of skilled trade positions, including mechanics, electricians, plumbers, masons, painters, carpenters, welders, millwrights, and more. As a Septa employee, you'll earn competitive compensation, great benefits, including medical, dental, prescription, and a pension. Visit jobs.septa.org to apply today. That's jobs.septa.org. And Tommy, we'll get this right out of the way because it's time now for the smartest stat of the week.
Yep.
Brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY. That's 1-866 pay easy. And the stats I'm going to give you are around. I got a couple of them, just like always. I always kind of throw. I can't just do one.
Yeah.
But let's talk about Tyler Phillips, local kid who pitched last night, Bishop Eustace.
Yeah.
Per Elias, among pitchers to debut since 1893, that's when the current mound distance was established. Tyler Phillips is one of 6 pitchers to record at least 12 strikeouts and 0 walks over their first 2 career appearances. Mitchell Parker and Shota Imanaga from the Cubs have both done so this season as well. He's also the 6th Phillies pitcher since 1893 with 5 strikeouts and 0 walks in their first Major League start. The most recent Phillies pitcher to do that was Jonathan Pettibone back in 2013. Phillips and Michael Mercado are the first pair of Phillies teammates to earn the win in each of their first career starts in the same season since Mark Leiter Jr. and Ben Lively in 2017. I got a couple more stats. Bryce Harper has now homered against all 30 Major League clubs, including a postseason home run against the Astros in the World Series 2022. So that's pretty cool. A couple other stats. Christopher Sanchez has eclipsed 100 innings pitched in single season for the first time. His 1.50 ERA at home, he's got 11 earned runs, 66 innings pitched, is the third best by a Phillies pitcher in the first 10 home starts of the season since 1912 when earned runs became official. Along with Wheeler, he became the second pair of Phillies teammates to both post a sub 1.80 home ERA in the first 10 home starts of a season.
That's getting it done.
That's getting it done. And then the last stat is Phillies are 22-4 when Schwarber does a Schwar bomb. So 22-4. So when Schwarber hits a leadoff home run, then good things are going to happen. And that was your Philly Smart Stat of the Week. Once again, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today at 1-866-PAY-EASY for the smart choice in payroll services. Call them again at 1-866-PAY-EASY. And again, you can watch the show live at WBCBSports.com or search WBCB Sports on YouTube. You can listen to the show on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, your station in Bucks, Burlington, and Mercer County. And now, Tommy, we're going to bring up my man Dave Zerilli, who, instead of food items, look what we got here.
Oh, my God.
Look what we got here.
What is that?
All right, and let's bring him on right here. There you go, Chris. There you go.
Thank you.
All right, Dave, grab a pair of headsets. Now, he is coming in relief of Jason Firestone, who usually brings food items. And I talked to Dave yesterday. First of all, thank you. Welcome to the show. All right. Is his mic on right there? All right. All right, so tell us what we have in front of us, and Tommy, show it to the camera.
Okay.
Well, you have a frozen margarita in a fastball freeze cup. It's a new item that we rolled out this year, this cup. It's been selling like hotcakes, so we
or cold cakes.
Cold cakes, exactly right.
On a day like today is awesome.
It's a perfect day for a frozen drink.
I was gonna say, like yesterday, photo day, the concourse is packed.
Yes.
I mean, you must have sold 1 billion of these, right?
We did. Pretty close.
Because I know, like the kids all like the. You guys, it's not. What do you have? Water ice. We have Philadelphia water ice, right?
We do.
Yeah. So I guess that was probably a big hit, right?
Yes.
Bottled water, obviously.
Sold a whole lot of water and a whole lot of water ice, absolutely. Ice cream, anything cold, anything iced down was selling well.
All right, so this is a margarita, and there's also you also have a vodka drink that's in this
frozen lemonade.
Frozen lemonade.
Yes, Tito's based with lemonade mix in it, so it's refreshing as well. This is made with our friends from Casamigos. So
not bad.
I call that dangerous.
So these are available throughout the concourse. We have roving hawkers out there, as well as at the Casamigos Tequila Bar, Section 113.
Nice. And I'm a recent fan of, I've kind of not switched over because I like my Tito's, but also I'm starting to become a big Casamigos.
It's good.
It is good.
I'm a fan.
It's good stuff.
All right, Dave, I really appreciate it. And if you don't mind, I will tell you some of the, because I think, because look at the menu here at CP Rankin Club.
Yeah.
I think we're going shrimp cocktail, egg rolls, and dry rub pork wings. How about that?
We can do that.
Awesome. All right. Well, Dave Zerilli, I really appreciate it. Thanks for filling in.
Thank you.
And thanks for the special gift right there, Tommy.
It was awesome.
Right?
Dude. Awesome.
That's a little surprise to you.
Yes, that's perfect.
Enjoy.
On a hot day like that.
Anytime, gentlemen.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks, Dave. All right. Dave Zerilli from Aramark. Really appreciate that. All right, Tommy, we got a lot to get to. For the All right, let's start. Should we start? Thank you very much.
Just put that over there.
We got it over there. All right, we're going to start on a bad note. We'll end on a good note. So the bad news on Sunday, it was an ugly game. After our show at Keenan's, we went to the Lazy Bass down in North Wildwood. Actually, it was
didn't really keep up with the game.
Yeah, we didn't really. Well, it was tough because Braves hit 4 home runs. We got shut out. We got stifled by Ronaldo Lopez.
Yeah.
And Duvall, Kelenic, and Olsen all hit home runs. Not a good one.
No.
And that it was just Michael Mercado did not have Eli White also hit a home run. Michael Mercado did not have his stuff, unfortunately, but also he's facing a great opponent. So, but it's tough to win when you have 5 hits. So Merrifield, who has since been released, 2 hits, and then 3 other guys single. So we will bypass that one pretty quickly. All right. So then, big series, Tommy. It was a statement because we had the Dodgers coming in. Dodgers, obviously, during the offseason, they get Ohtani. They get Yamamoto. I think they have the highest payroll. They are stacked.
Yeah.
Right? And it was a showcase. This could be a preview of a playoff game.
Could be.
Right?
Yep.
And I tell you what, it had a playoff atmosphere. It was that whole series, Tuesday to Thursday, sellouts all nights. And the crowd was in it from the get-go. And what a way to start off, because on Tuesday night, it was an offensive explosion. Trey Turner hit his 6th grand slam. Bryson Stott went deep. Marsh went deep. And Harper came back from injuries. Schwarber came back from injuries. We had a 6-run 4th inning. Zach Wheeler pitched great, but he had a little lower back tightness, but we heard from Murph that it looks like he's coming back, just being very cautious.
Yeah, just look at the bottom of that lineup here, Braze.
I tell you, you're
look
right.
Look at them. Man.
You're right. Marsh went 2 for 3.
Yeah.
We mentioned a home run. Marchand, who's been a great find.
3 for 3,
3 for 3, 2 runs scored. Rojas, 2 for 3, 2 runs scored, RBI.
Yeah.
So you're right. The back of that lineup, and then Turner, obviously, with a huge day, and Schwarber.
Yep.
So a good match, or good game all around. Wheeler only went 5 innings, but we had, from our bullpen, we had 4 guys, Dominguez, Soto, Kerkering, and Ruiz, all doing well. So that was a good one.
Threw goose eggs up after that, so which is good.
Now, this one really did. The Wednesday night game had the playoff atmosphere because this was a tight game, right? That was a blowout.
Yeah.
This is a tight game where this is what you'd picture in the playoffs. And I tell you what, you got to give probably the MVP of that game was Matt Strom.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of great people that won that obviously contributed to the win. But Matt Strom came in a situation where Shohei Ohtani.
Runners on.
Bases loaded, right?
Yeah, runners on.
And he flailed at that slider. And
no, it was 2 runners on, I think.
2 runners on,
yeah,
okay.
2 runners on.
And his helmet flew off. It was such a great moment, a key part of the game. And he inherited runners on the corners. You're right.
Yeah.
And in the 7th inning, nursing a 4-2 lead, and just to see him do that. Then he also got who was the other one? Toscar Hernandez.
Yeah.
Who's also a good player. So good for him. Just a good game overall. Tight race. Some of the offensive stars from that game. You basically had, who do we have? Well,
Schwarber.
And Merrifield. So Schwarber had the home run. Merrifield had a big triple. Marsh with a double. We went 3 for 9 runners in scoring position. 10 hits.
Turner had a couple.
Yep. Left 3 on base. But Sanchez also pitched a very good game. 6-inning pitch, 2 earned runs. Kerkering, Strom, Alvarado did give up a run, but for the most part, locked it down. So good to see that. And Hoffman obviously got the save. And Hoffman's been just
he's been great.
Been great.
Yeah, he's been great.
And then we get to, so now we go for the sweep on Thursday, and you get Aaron Nola. And again, it was another 5-1 game. Nola pitched a great game. Marsh had a big night, home run and triple. Trey Turner launched his 6th home run in 9 games. But the story was really Nola. Struck out 9 in 6 innings. Schwarber also went deep. But Nola's been, we talked about this all the time. It wasn't the sexiest signing when we re-signed him in the offseason, right? I was listening to talk radio, and I tell you what, if you're a manager, any manager would kill to have someone like Aaron Nola who takes the ball, every 5 days, and he is about as consistent as you can get.
Well, you remember when we talked about it, he said, I'd sign him in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat, right.
In a heartbeat. What
and
he gives you every time out, shine, yeah, man.
I mean, there's no more consistent pitcher than Aaron Nola. Yeah, he'll give up some home runs, and every pitcher does.
Yeah.
But for the most part, absolute stud. So, and again, that was a complete 10 hits again, 5 RBIs, obviously, 5-1. And then Nola went 6, Strom, Hoffman, Alvarado. And that's probably, when we get into playoffs and big games, that's what you're probably looking at. When you have Kerkering, Strom, Hoffman, Alvarado, if you have Soto going really well, if you have Sir Anthony going really well, who both have shown they can do it and have the potential crazy stuff.
Almost, man.
I mean, that's a devastating bullpen.
Yeah.
And, now we have the trade deadline coming up in less than 3 weeks, and that could be another. I mean, could you imagine if all of a sudden they get a Tanner Scott, or they get Mason Miller from the A's, or they get somebody who's a lights out? I mean, Mike, that could be the. I don't know if we necessarily need it.
Yeah,
but that could be like
we've done pretty good without it. But
right, but that could also make it like unbelievable. And that's, if you think about playoff teams, you had to have a good bullpen.
Yeah.
You have to protect the leads, and starters aren't going as long these days. Our guys are, but starters aren't going in general.
Yeah.
And to have that has just been tremendous. So kudos to Aaron Nola. Kudos to the bullpen. A sweep of the Dodgers was absolutely huge. All right, we're going to end this segment, Tommy, on a downer, because the other night, Friday night, was a tough one. But the weird thing is, it was a weird game. Like, they won 6-2, right? But it was like one of those games where it's the baseball – 1 inch to it, whether it's the umpire had a tough night. Every ball they hit was in a perfectly placed. Like Turner would be over towards third base.
A step over.
A step over, and they'd hit it normally where Turner would be. It just was, every ball they hit went the perfect spot. Bloop singles, this and that.
Yeah.
And then every time we had a hard hit ball, it was right at a fielder.
Had a hard hang with them.
Yes, and it was a very frustrating game. I don't take too much. I mean, Suarez, I really think Ranger's going to benefit from the
days
break.
Down.
Yeah, because he's got a little bit dead arm. You can see his velocity is down.
When you start having, how long has this lower back been with him a little bit? Has he been fighting it a little bit, or, your lower back gets on you don't want to use your legs.
Right.
You don't even want to use your legs. That velocity's going down, dude.
Yep.
So.
All right, when we get back, we are going to talk about the game last night. And we're going to talk about the All-Star game coming up, where we have 8 guys. And we're going to get you set up for today's game. Again, it's a bullpen game, Kerkering, and then it looks like Mercado, and then who knows from there.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. You're listening to the Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA. We are live from the CP Ranking Club at Citizens Bank Park.
Community Bank, we're in the business of building thriving communities. That means breaking down the barriers to home ownership, supporting fair, affordable access to housing from Philadelphia to the Lehigh Valley, like our home opportunity mortgage that empowers eligible borrowers with no minimum credit score, no down payment, access to grant programs, and so much more. Visit PennCommunityBank.com/home for more details. Penn Community Bank. Here we grow. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender. Account and feature terms, restrictions, and conditions apply.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Energy costs are skyrocketing. Now is the time to upgrade your old heater and air conditioning systems to more efficient units to save on your utility bills. Harris Comfort can also handle all your propane needs, as well as providing sales and service on whole house generators. Harris Comfort is still family owned and has been serving our area for over 60 years, providing sales, service, installation, and peace of mind. Call 215-788-4596 or go to harriscomfort.com. Harris Comfort, still family and still local.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
With over 7,200 square feet of 200 brewers in stock at all times, Pat Dion Beverages now features 5 different flavors of their favorite slushy cocktails. You can also purchase all your wine, liquor, and other fine spirits right next door. Visit us on Facebook or online at patdionbeverages.com for upcoming events and samples from your favorite brewery or local food vendor.
We now return to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Phillies Director of Fun and Games, John Brazer, and former pitcher from the '93 National League champion Phillies, Tommy Greene.
We are back to the Baseball Insider Show, presented by BCWSA, live at the CP Rankin Club at Citizens Bank Park. I'm John Brazer, joined by my co-host Tommy Greene, Chris Ermer, and Dave came through. So we just got delivered our food from the CP Rankin Club. I think we went with cheesesteak egg rolls, dry rub pork wings, and shrimp cocktail, I think. So very excited about that. All right, Tommy. So last night, a great story. I mentioned the stats about Tyler Phillips, a local kid from BCWSA. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And Tyler, it was such a great story. He's making his starting debut now. He got into the game against the Braves.
Yeah.
But he's making his
pitched very well.
Yeah. He pitched into the 7th inning, his first career start, and the game was tuck and go for a little bit. It was.
In a perfect world, as an ex-pitcher, I would love to sing Topper get him out of there after 6. Don't send him for the 7th. Because it was
right,
like unbelievable.
Right,
you know?
and he's right. But I think also in the back of his mind, he knew he was going for a bullpen game.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he felt like, you know what, even though we have a break coming up, that was the thought in his head.
Yeah.
If Wheeler was pitching today, he probably would have gotten him out of the 6th.
Yeah.
And then gone from there. But I tell you what, he went 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs. 2 of them were solo home runs. He had 5 Ks, no walks. Right. So that's pretty good on a hot, humid day where the ball was flying.
Yeah, the ball was flying.
That is pretty good. And then, again, on a hot, humid day, for Kerkering, Soto, and Hoffman, Alvarado did give up a run, but for Kerkering, Soto, and Hoffman, was not in great circumstances.
Soto's been throwing the ball pretty good.
Very well.
Yeah,
Oakland went up 1-0 in the second. We came back to get 2 on Nick Castellanos, hit a home run. Then, same thing, they tied it up, but we came back, and then we broke it a little open in the 4th inning, with 3 runs, and then we just piled on towards the end. So a very good offensive night. We were 4 for 11 with runners in scoring position. We had Castellanos had a big double, Harper double, home runs, Harper 21st, Castellanos is 13th, Turner is 10th, and Rojas got one out. It's his 3rd.
How about Rojas, man?
Yeah, it's a nice.
How about some of them defensive plays we've been seeing him, Blake, dude?
I tell you what, that's why you keep, people that overlook or they're paying too much attention to his offense, right? Or same thing with Stubbs. Stubbs doesn't get the credit. Yes, he's hitting, $190, whatever he's hitting. But Stubbs.
He's time to show up in big moments, man.
Well, but also more just catching the guys. Stubbs is a very valuable catcher, which goes unnoticed sometimes, when he's back there. He's getting the majority of starts now with Real Muto.
He knows this staff. He's been on them. So, for the past couple of years, he's worked with these guys, so he's a valuable commodity. You talk about what are they going to do when Real Muto comes back. That's the question you hear.
I think they're going to keep.
I think to me, I wouldn't mess.
No,
I wouldn't mess with the mojo.
I think Marchand goes down, gets a bunch of reps at AAA.
Yeah,
and then who knows next year?
Because he's proved himself pretty good.
Right, I think Marchand could be our catcher of the future.
Yep.
We also have some good young catchers and. Who knows? Maybe Marchand's getting a showcase, and
you never know what
you could get used as a trade chip for somebody. So we'll see that.
Yeah, you never know. There's more. There's more than just one team here.
But going back to Rojas, man, he made a catch last night and then 2 nights ago that were big because
huge.
Last night, yesterday's catch. I mean, that could have just.
That was earlier in the ball game. The momentum was back and forth too.
Right, that could have snowballed. Had A's kind of building on that momentum because he doesn't make that catch, then all of a sudden Tyler Phillips could go south.
Yeah.
Right. It can affect everything.
Oh, that was going to score a run.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if he didn't catch it.
And the night before was even, man, that catch on a run. Right? I mean, that looked like that was trouble from the get-go.
He was a foot away, I mean, running into that corner like it was. It's a weird corner out there.
Unbelievable. So, again, if Rojas,
athletic, man.
Rojas doesn't really have to hit that well. If he can get on base, great because of his speed.
Yeah.
But, man, you keep providing that defense in center field.
He's like Wesley Snipes on Major League. We need to, for every pop-up he hits and ball in the air, we need to make him drop down and give us 20.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, Tommy, consider a career at Septa. Septa relies on and needs bus operators, train engineers, conductors. As a Septa employee, you'll earn competitive compensation, great benefits, including medical, dental, prescription, and a pension. Visit jobs.septa.org to apply today. That's jobs.septa.org. All right, Tommy, I'm going to give you some stats, and then we're going to get you set up for today's game.
Yeah.
All right? So I mentioned that Phillies are 22-4 when Schwarber hits a leadoff home run.
Yeah.
Right, which is pretty good. The other one is where do I have? I had some other stats somewhere. All right, before I get to the stats, let's get you set up right now for today's game, and then I'll do that.
Okay.
All right, for Oakland, leading off will be Lawrence Butler, who's a left-hander, playing right field, hitting .201, 6 home runs. Batting second is Miguel Andujar, left fielder, .289, he's got 3 home runs. Not a lot of pop in this lineup. J.J. Bleday he's a lefty.
Yeah.
Center fielder, hitting .224. He's got a little pop, 11 home runs. Brent Rooker, the kid has done some damage against us.
Yeah.
He's a DH, .287, 19 home runs, leads the team. Shea Langoliers, catcher, batting fifth, .216, but he's got 17 bombs. Seth Brown playing first base, another lefty, batting sixth, 0 for 1 with a K versus Kirkring.
Yeah.
He's batting .191, 5 home runs. Zach Geloff, UVA product, hit a home run last night. Second baseman, batting seventh.
Yeah, I saw some people out in the parking lot with his jersey on.
Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Good player, UVA. 204, 11 home runs. Brett Harris playing third base, batting eighth. 171, 3 home runs. He's 1 for 1 off Kirkring for what it's worth. And Max Schumann, who's a shortstop, 241, 5 home runs. So not exactly but look, we have a bullpen game today. Anything can happen. So on the mound for the A's, Joey Estes, right-handed pitcher, his second season. He is 3-4 with a 5.53 ERA, a 1.23 WHIP, which is not great. 57 innings pitched, 56 hits. He's got 44 Ks, 14 walks. He has given up 7 home runs in 57 innings pitched. His last outing did not go great. He went 1 2/3 against Boston, gave up 7 hits, 8 earned runs. But the start before that against the Angels, he pitched a complete game shutout, 5 hits. So it looks like you can get him, but also he could get you.
Yes.
For the Fightin' Phils, we got Kyle Schwarber leading off as a DH, batting .252, 19 home runs. Trey Turner, stay hot, Trey. Shortstop batting second,
sir.
.343, 10 home runs. Bryce Harper, same thing, he's heating up, coming back from the injury. Batting third, first base, .303, 21 home runs. Alec Boehm batting fourth, third base, .292, 11 home runs. Bryson Stott batting fifth, second base, .240, 6 home runs. Nick Castellanos, he's been in hot too. Right fielder batting .235, 13 home runs. Brandon Marsh, left field, batting seventh, .266. He's heating up a little bit, 9 home runs. Rojas, center field, batting eighth, .234, 3 home runs. And Garrett Stubbs catching, batting ninth. And as Murph had told us, Orion Kirkring will be the starter. Looks like 1 inning maybe.
Yeah,
we'll see.
That'll probably be it. Unless he throws like 4 pitches.
He is having he's 2-1 with a 1.30 ERA. Great WHIP, .95 WHIP. 34 2/3 innings pitched, and he's got 40 Ks.
Yeah,
that's getting it done.
Yeah, he's getting it done.
And
man. He's got good stuff, man.
He
just needs experience. Let's just keep getting him. Getting him in there.
That's exactly right. So again, that's Schwarber, Turner, Harper, Boehm, Stott, Castellanos, Marsh, Rojas, Stubbs. All right, Tommy, we have 8 players now. A couple of them aren't going. but 8 players that were named to the All-Star team.
Yep.
Do you like the All-Star games? Will you be watching on Tuesday?
I might watch it. It all depends on what's going on. Yeah. I try to catch some of it. Do I sit there and watch the whole thing? Not necessarily. I'd like to see our guys play. You know?
Yeah, and also just the Futures game yesterday. Justin Crawford went 1 for 2.
It's more of a show these days than it is the way it used to be.
Right. It doesn't count for anything.
Yeah.
It used to count for
home field advantage
in the World Series.
Yeah.
But they scrapped that idea, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
But what a great honor, especially for someone like Christopher Sanchez.
It is one for your team, for your peers.
Yep.
I think that's where it's a little screwy now.
Home run. So they had a stat on Major League Baseball, MLB Network, where some guys, Chris just asked, are you worried about Bohm messing up his swing, being in the home run hitting contest? Well, some guys have gone south since that, but some guys actually it makes them go forward. So it's not a science. If it was like 80% of the people go south after the home run hitting contest, well, I think a lot of guys probably wouldn't do it, right? Because they don't want to mess up. But I think Bohm's such a pure hitter, right? I just don't.
We need to get him going in the right direction, though. He's kind of been sliding here the last week, 10 days, But.
Yep. But still, he's one of the best at putting contact in the ball. He's one of the best.
God, yeah.
Obviously, he's up there with the RBI leader. He's also one of our more clutch guys. When you have bases loaded, 1 out, the guy that I went up to bat, if I could choose anybody, I would probably choose Bohm most times.
Yeah.
Right, the most clutch guy. So, but it'll be interesting to see. My guess is, I don't think Suarez is going out there. If he does, he's not pitching. Obviously, Wheeler's not pitching. You might see. I bet you're going to see Hoffman.
Yeah.
Right in the game.
You'll probably see one. Yeah. You'll see him and
Strom
and Sanchez.
You think you'll see Sanchez in the game? Do you think all 3 guys will get in?
Well, I think they'll use him.
Okay.
Yeah. Because he's taking Chris Sale's place.
And I don't think there's a 3-batter minimum in the All-Star game.
I don't think so.
I think they just try to get. But it'll
depend. When's the last time Sanchez pitched? It's been a little bit, so he's good to go. You know, and it depends on. I think he's going to pitch. What Murph said, he's going to pitch like the third game. The third game in Pittsburgh.
Third game.
So he should be good. Yeah.
Possibly the third game. Which would be good. All right, Tommy. Phillies right now, again, going into the one game away from going into the All-Star break. We have a 9.5 game lead on Atlanta. To look at the standings right now. The division winners right now, well, Baltimore's tied with New York Yankees, so that's neck and neck.
Yeah.
Cleveland's having a great year. They're 4.5 games up in their division.
They are playing good,
58-36. Seattle is leading their division by 1 game over Houston. Houston, who got off to a really tough start, but they are coming on. They're 1 game back. In the National League, Philly, we're up 9.5, as I said. Mets 12.5. Mets are starting to play much better ball.
You think so?
Yep.
They're playing real well, man.
Milwaukee's leading their division 54-42. 3.5 game lead on St. Louis. St. Louis is starting to play better.
They are.
Watch out for Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh, again, with Skeens and some of their young guys, although Jared Jones just went out.
Jared Jones, that's a bad break, man.
And then
great arm.
Then the Dodgers are leading their division by 7. Arizona, San Diego. San Diego's starting to play a little better ball. So if the wild card, the season ended today, Baltimore would win that division. Baltimore, Cleveland, Seattle will be the division winners. Phillies, Milwaukee, LA will be the division winners. Leading in the wild card, Yankees have the top spot right now. Minnesota is second, and Boston right over Kansas City and just Houston, Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And then in the National League, Atlanta would have that first wild card spot. St. Louis would have the second. And the Mets would be in the playoffs right now. How about that? Mets would be in the wild card spot. Arizona's 1 game back. San Diego's 1 game back. Again, Pittsburgh's 2.5 games back. Cincinnati's 3 games back. So
the Mets are 4 games above 500 now. They've been playing very well, dude.
They're playing very good ball. So, all right, Tommy, your prediction on the game today?
I tell you what, to me, I think there's nothing better, than the game before All-Star break. I think you want to go in with a W.
Yep.
And that's what I'm looking for. Then, obviously it's a bullpen game, but it's been the next man up attitude all the first half, it seems like, and everybody's rose to the occasion. I think we're going to find a way to do the same thing today.
All right, you heard that from Tommy Greene, and that wraps up today's Baseball Insider Show presented by BCWSA live at the CP Ranking Club at Citizens Bank Park. Thanks to my co-host Tommy Greene, our on-site engineer Chris Ermer, back in the studio Brooks St. Ives. Thanks to our guests today, Dave Zarrilli from Aramark and Greg Murphy. We'll be back next Sunday at our Keenan's from 12:30 to 1:30 before the Phillies take on the Pirates. Until then, have a great night, and as the late, great Harry the K says,
we're out of here.
Under the Hood with Fred Fletcher is heard